Hi, everybody. I'm Tamara Zoner.
And I'm John Davis.
Welcome to Spirit Cafe.
Come in, sit down, and
grab a cup of love.
A Spirituality Without the Guilt podcast. Hey, guys, it's John Davis, and I am here. And I am very, very excited today because of a couple things. Number one, I just found out about our guest yesterday, so this is kind of fun and exciting. And we all know that every so often I'll throw my co-host a loop and not let her know what I'm about to do. And I kind of feel like the tables have been turned a little bit here. And I love this because I'm all about living the experience right here, right now. And so I'm all about it. So because I know very little bit about our guest today. I've been on the website, I've looked, but I know I am excited to find out what we're about to go through. And so first I have to welcome my lovely co-host and Tamara Zoner. Hello, Tamara. How are you?
I'm great, John. How are you?
Yes, you are great. I agree with you on that one.
Oh, thanks. You're nicer today.
What'd you say?
I said you're nicer today.
Well, yeah, I attacked you last time, so it was good. I apologize on that episode, though. For
I know
make sure
I forgive you.
All right. Well, thank you. I can now move on with life. We have an interesting guest today, which I know very little about, and I think that why don't you introduce us to our guest so we can get into something fun here?
I would be happy to. And actually, I'm really looking forward to getting to know her too, because the last time we chatted, she was asking me all the questions. And I enjoyed it so much. I thought, hey, let's have Claudia Monacelli on our show. And I was just reviewing Claudia's bio, and it is vast. I'm some mouth, jaw-dropping open experiences, an experience in Claudia's life. But I think I'll let her give us the some of her experience and who she is. And welcome to the show, Claudia Monacelli.
Oh, I've got the spotlight. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you for inviting me. So who am I? Every time someone asks me that, I'm thinking, don't they know already? If they don't know, there's something wrong. Okay, I'm a professor. That's one of the hats. And I teach simultaneous interpreting, which means something goes into your ears in one language and something should come out in another language out of your mouth. And I've been doing that for a long time, and I was a professional interpreter forever. And so let's say half of my life was lived in the United States and half in Italy. And I worked for the State Department in the United States. So I traveled all over. Yesterday I was telling a friend of mine from the United States, I never got to Oklahoma. And I don't even know where that is on the map, or Arkansas. I have an idea where that is. And so that's one of my hats. Another hat is an author. Well, people write books when they go to the universities, they produce paper, but I write different kinds of work with relation to academic work. Then at one point of my life, I started becoming a little really, really angry with my day job, as they say. And so I created an online persona, Christelle Martinet, same letters, CM. And I became a card reader and a psychic medium. I'm a third generation member of the occult. My mom used to practice card reading, and my dad was seances. And it was funny because while we grew up, they hinted at it. And we were kids, my dad would say, come on, I swear that table was rising from the ground, and then only after I thought, hey, he wasn't joking. He wasn't joking. And so that's that. I'm trying to think if I have any other. Of course, my online persona does work with couples and singles with archetypal psychology, coaching them. And my let's say my root, my motto is pleasure, the magic of pleasure seeking. That's the title of my book. And it always works. Always, always, always. I swear. It's only when I get angry or I fear something that I fall into a puddle of crap. So here I am at your service.
Wow,
I think
your life is like the salad bar of cool topics.
Right. That's cute. Leave out the onions, please. Today.
Well, I'm utterly fascinated. I like I say, I have no idea where we're going. So, Tamara, take it away.
Well, no, I have to add something here because you guys belted out some good lines before we clicked that record button. I couldn't chime in, but I'm a dancer.
I saw that really, on a lighter note on her extensive bio. Yeah. On a lighter note, I enjoy Argentine tango.
yeah. Now, in the past days, you do other stuff, but Argentine tango, yeah.
Oh gosh, what a whirlwind
experience! I'm a dancer enthusiast, which means I like to look at dancers.
Oh, really? I'm sure you do. Yeah. Except with tango, it takes two. And so with COVID, there was a moratorium. And now we're just starting. Well, there was, clandestine milongas, they're called, at friends' houses. And we would pair up, wear our masks. COVID's got me too. We wear our masks. And now we're having regular lessons. And we could even switch couples. Which tango, that's tango. Tango is a dance among strangers. And so it's fantastic. You can tell I just had my first lesson this season on Tuesday. So I'm really excited. Yeah.
Wonderful. I love your joy. I love your joy.
Well, yeah, you should have been there Tuesday. It was wonderful. When they said we could, because I hate to say it, I hope he's not listening. Last year when we started, we were able to take the lessons only if we paired up as a couple. Then we couldn't exchange couples. So the first day, this man and I looked at each other. We said, okay. And I was stuck with him. Thank goodness it only lasted a month because it was very difficult, stepping on my toes, the whole business, So I was able to switch partners a couple of times on Tuesday. So I was really thrilled. Yeah. Yeah.
So fun. So tell our listeners how you went from this very academic experience. And yes, you were raised with some undertones of spirituality, but into actually creating this persona online and doing readings. Tell us about that.
Well, one day, not one day, it was several months in the year. And all I did at the university, I found myself. Let's say that when I got into the university structure, I had a couple of letters after my name, books that I had published, and then I started seeing men, sorry, John, men who didn't have any letters behind their name, after their name, and only one book get promoted. And I thought, no, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. And so I thought, let me enjoy myself. And I never watched anything on YouTube. I swear, I don't watch my zodiac sign messages for that. So I said, let me, I'll just show my hands because I didn't want my students to find me. So that lasted a couple of years until someone said to me, nope, Claudia, you have to show your face. And you have to go live. And I thought, oh my God, live. I'm so camera shy. I couldn't bear it. And so he says, try it. And then if you don't like it, then, we'll stop. So I tried it. And every month I got 1,000 more subscribers and, as if I were stripping in front of me. And it was fun. It was fun, actually, the live sessions. So,
the live sessions, not the stripping.
No.
Okay. I'm sorry. My mind went somewhere else.
There's still time for that. That'll be for another episode. So that's how I started. But then once I did start with my YouTube channel, I got into, I pulled out all of my other skills, hypnotherapy, past life regression. And it was fantastic. It was just fantastic. Soul therapy, reading into people's, the origin, the soul group of origin that their soul belongs to, which is much better than the astrology sign. And so that's what I do. That's what I do most of the time. Well, half of my life, I guess. And the other half is I still have that cap. I'm a voice coach. That's what I am. Yeah, I forgot to throw that in. But what's difficult about moving right into, from the academic world, the most difficult thing was that the academic world is academics, you period, dot, you quote, and you do that. You go into YouTube, And the level is, you don't know what the level's like. You don't know who's listening. You don't know who's listening, and you have to talk in a certain way so they get it, because it's tough. And so that was a real surprise. That was a real surprise. And so, I find that it's a, dumbing it down a lot. In my case, I just slowed my speech up, thinking that, okay, that's a, international audience. I will speak slowly in English. That's my idea of talking to many, right? Internationally. And it's not like that, generally on YouTube. So that's the difference. And also writing for the American market. I started, my book proposal, the whole thing. I was working with a coach so she could give me an idea what the market was like, because I had to pitch it to a certain, audience. And we thought of pitching to millennial women, who are by far the most oppressed women in the world today. So sorry, guys, girls, gals. But what I found was that there too, I had to dumb it down literally. The language had to be very not, how can I say, I couldn't take anything for granted. It had to be explained, and it had to be repeated, and it had to come out in a bullet point and in a little table. And that was fun. I have to say, it was fun to try to adapt to that. Yeah.
Wow, that's a huge transition. That's amazing. So are you going to read for us today? Is that what's happening? I want to know.
Well, I don't know. You need a reading?
Oh, that's scary. Sure. That's scary. Twist my arm.
Because I would never force a reading on anybody. So I have a deck of tarot. I have a couple of decks here, but I have one that I really like. And then another oracle card deck that's called La Vita Sibilla. That's an Italian deck. That's my favorite because, well, I teach this deck. It's something that I started with years ago. But yeah, I'm here, but you have to ask the questions. So typically, I'm sure you might have gone to a tarot reader
once or twice
in your life.
Once or twice.
Okay. And everybody works differently, but I always say, look, it's your dime. If you want to get to the point, it's better that you ask me the question instead of going, I'll just keep opening the cards and telling you what I see. But I can do that. I can start. And I had spoken already to Tamara, so I know a little bit about her, but that doesn't mean I know anything specific about her. And John, I don't know anything about you, but let's say, is there something that you would like to ask me and wouldn't mind your audience to hear?
That is the big challenge. Tamara knows that was been the big challenge for years.
Yeah, it's an open book now. It's fine.
I have an open book now.
You are? Okay.
Yeah, I just made a big shift in my life into doing very big spiritual work. And I would like to know where that's headed.
Okay, good. Can I ask how recent it started?
Well, the new shift started about a week ago.
Okay.
And it was picking up something that I had done 20 years ago.
Okay. I get the message. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to lay 9 cards, 3, 3, and 3.
This is fun.
Yeah. If I had to say there's one thing wrong with it or you're going in the wrong direction, nothing. I mean, there will be another shift. Let's put it this way. There will be another shift what it entails, John, is you being more secure with the direction that you're moving in. And you being the emperor of your reign, this is the way I can describe what I believe spiritually to another person. When you can do that, then you feel it's comfortable, where you don't worry about what they think or their criticism or anything like that. So I see that there's also, I don't know your status, your romantic life or your love, the love in your life, but I have here right smack in the middle something that is a return. there's somebody or someone that has, if it's not in this life, it is in past life, definitely, but there is a return that has come in or is just coming in. And why I say that is because I have the magician on the on the left side, which means this was something that you wanted. And on the other side there, or you do want, and then there is this 2 of coins, which is change. So there was another change there. And I would bet my bottom dollar on the fact that this spiritual change is sort of enmeshed with that. There's stuff going on there. Now, it's something also that has come up. There's 2 sides to this coin. I could say, look, John, this happened all of a sudden. No, but it feels like the result of the change has happened all of a sudden. And it is happening all of a sudden. And you are celebrating, but you're a little afraid of it. But the Hanged Man is here to tell you, don't be afraid. It's time to celebrate, celebrate.
Music.
Yeah. And the incoming card here is the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords is all about talk, was all about messages, is all about messages. And if we want to say spiritual message, we can. I'm not going to say that, because here it's cha 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 cha. There's a lot of communication going on. There's a lot of reasoning and bouncing off someone as if they were a mirror, but not really mirror, but someone that you feel so comfortable with that they can give you their, unbiased opinion. Very interesting moment for you. Yeah. Good.
Oh, well, thanks.
Good for you. Gee, I mean,
that was pretty spot on.
Oh, well.
Tamara, you know everything that's going on with me.
Yeah.
I can elaborate on it myself, but I think it'd be rather interesting to hear your perspective from the outside looking in.
Ooh,
me?
Sure.
Me or Tamara?
Tamara.
Yeah, good. I want to hear too.
Okay, cool. That's fun. So I just enjoyed that so much because yes, he's made this he basically come out of the spiritual closet, I think that Spirit Cafe was the door cracked open for him.
Interesting.
I'd say that I'm definitely one of those mirrors if there are multiple in his life.
Good.
Where he always says I give him a spiritual smackdown with a spiritual 2x4. Because I've just been saying, do what your heart leads you to do, and you'll be taken care of. You'll be taken care of. And then I liked the relationship one, that love one, because very recently I took John through his passion test that we talked about, Claudia.
Oh, we did. Yeah.
And one of his top passion became a relationship that was fun and supportive. And I feel like it's very interesting that that's a magician card, which you said means
moves right into
back.
it. Yeah.
That would make sense for me. And I'm wondering.
Yes.
I'm wondering.
Are we getting
John
your question?
Spoke to recently.
What's that?
Was from his past. That could be a possibility.
Oh no, actually, yeah, I'm willing to go there. No problem. Say that again, so Claudia can get that.
Yeah. So go ahead.
So there was someone who approached John in the virtual arena.
Yes.
Recently, that is from when he was doing this work before.
Oh, how do you like that? Yeah.
And they had a great conversation. And I don't know.
Maybe. How recent is that?
And a very big experience. That was in the past few days, really.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Recent. And it just sounded like.
And we want to know.
That could be amazing.
I want to use this other deck of cards. All right. So I'm going to let's see how this develops, right? I'm going to I'm mixing the cards, and what I'll do, they're different from the tarot, and they chat. If they like you and they like what's going on, they'll chat and be very talkative. Chatty cards. They're oracles, they talk. So I split them in two, cut them in two, and now I'm cutting them in three. From the right, I'm going to ask you to choose 1, 2, or 3.
3.
Okay. Then I turn over I turn over the other two. And the deck that you chose, I spread in rows of 5 cards, all of them. Now this person, I see it seems to be a woman to me. She comes out right under the two decks that you didn't choose, which means something is very, very, that will be happening or is happening as we speak. She's hoping that something will develop. All right. And what else I'm seeing is, all right, in her life, let's say that I see you, all right, there is this male lover here. I see that, and I see the conversation, very laughable three. How can we say it's a Three of Cups celebration, just like that came out with the tarot. It's here again as a focus. There's the love card, there's the intimacy card. The intimacy card is sort of it's a series. This is a long haul thing. And that's all across the center. This is all, the focus of the reading. Before, this person has gone from riches to rags emotionally. And I don't know how long ago, but from what I can see, there was a fairly stable relationship. Either she was married or she was living, there was a stable bond with this person. And she was very lucky because she found harmony fairly quickly, but her ego took a real beating. It took a real beating. And not only her ego, her sexuality, the way she poses herself to other people, that is difficult. How is it going to play out? All right, the entire package of her before the encounter online is going to completely disappear. There's no more under the belt ego, none of that, and the sexuality will go back to normal. There's a lot of communication. How explicit can I get?
I mean, John does have the power of the edit if he's not comfortable.
I do have the power of that. You can go anywhere you want, but I'm going to say, so far, I'm confused about whether we're thinking about the same people. Okay,
well, I'm thinking of the one that you saw online. This is what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Now, and what I see is that she's come from a roller coaster emotional ride that has affected her sexuality, her emotional stability. And what I see in the near future, near for me, time in universal senses could be a month, could be 6 months, it could be up to a year, but soon, that her past situation is going to be annulled, literally. And here I see you both moving into a very intimate sphere of not only conversation, but conversation of a under the surface type. You uncover those things you don't usually uncover even with people you are with for years and years and years. And this happens, and I do see a bond here. I do see a stable bond. But the thing that is surprising is this last card that came out alone. So there's 5, 5, and 5, and one left out. And it is the Merchant card. And the Merchant card is someone who keeps things under wraps. And I see you here. I see that in you. But I also see that when it comes out as the last card out of a row, it means that there has been a change in your activity as well. The way your I don't want to say financial activity, but your livelihood. There you go. So this is what, and you said, so let me go back to what you just said. You said, now I'm confused because I'm not sure of the person that you're talking about. I was looking at the woman who you were conversing online. That's who I was meant to talk about.
Yeah. Well, what was interesting, there's a lot in there to unpack. There's a very, okay, so do you want to continue with this, or you want me to tell you what you're actually talking about?
No, I'm finished. I'm finished with this. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let me tell you what you're actually talking about, so you have a little bit more insight, because I'm sure it can get very confusing.
Okay. Yeah.
Over 20 years ago, I had 19 different psychics tell me about a very specific past life. And they named it, each one of them named it, and most of them walked up to me spontaneously. I didn't go in for a reading. My Catholic mind said, past lives, no.
Right.
And so I went and found a regression therapist in Washington, D.C. who regressed me.
Good.
And I remembered the life of John, the beloved apostle. And I remembered walking with Jeshua ben Joseph and learning from him. I started speaking at the Associations for Research and Enlightenment, the Edgar Cayce Foundations all over the country.
This in real life.
In real life.
Right. Okay.
In real life. I had a book written about it by the first psychic who did it. All these things happened. What happened over the course of time was that people became too invested in who I was and not what I wanted to teach. And I left that work and decided to move into obscurity in some form. I moved into working into the corporate world, and
that's very obscure. I can see that.
But I was a motivational speaker who would come into corporate environments, and what I was really doing was sneaking spiritual messages into my speeches.
I could see that.
Well, over the past year, I've been having this big draw to go back to that work again. And the first person.
But why?
Excuse
me if I ask.
Oh yeah. I believe right now the veil is thinner, and we're coming to a new evolution of the earth in the world. And I think that love is becoming more and more predominant. And
even in the corporate world?
Yes, because what happened in the corporate world, people were, I would do my speeches, and at the end of the speech, people would come up to shake my hand or whatever. And there'd always be a group who stand off to the side who wait for everybody else to go away. And they'd walk up and say, "I know what you're talking about." They'd whisper to me. right. But now I feel very compelled to bring that back out again, and went on to a YouTube show and did an interview. And now it's like going wildfire. I started
my own. That's good. Good.
Started my own YouTube channel, John of New, and it's really going crazy right now. But the person that you read on was someone who recently contacted me for a session, one of my sessions that I do, and we remembered the life with Jeshua together. It was very interesting because I felt very connected to that past life with her, but I didn't necessarily feel overly connected on this life with her. It was kind of an odd experience, but I was totally like, I get you, I understand you.
I see you as family members in past lives.
That's kind of how I see it too, and it's very interesting because this time it's like we both had big experiences. We both were moved by experiences, but I think really a lot of this last time was about validation for her. Okay. And you were talking about sexuality, her struggling with sexuality. One of the struggles I think she was having was in her past life, she was a man. Yeah. And so I think that was part of that struggle.
There's nothing wrong about that.
No, I don't think so either.
I totally think we're both frequently. So
we change. We do change. Yeah. I mean, we do change many lives,
I completely agree, but I think your cards were catching on to the fact that she was having a struggle with that.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. Well, this is interesting, and I think it's time to leave you alone now.
Yes.
And maybe we should go to Tamara.
Yeah. Thank God. Oh, thank God.
All right. It's fun. I hope our listeners are enjoying it.
Yeah, get her. Go get
her. All right, Tamara, what are we going to do now? Let's see. What shall we do?
John knows that I always struggle a bit with questions.
Well, let's take a look. You want me to open?
Sure. Yes.
Remove the embarrassment. Let's see. I guess if you don't have the focus on a question, that there probably are many. Okay. Let's see.
I mean, maybe not the questions for a whole live audience.
When is the day of your birthday? Not the year, just the day.
December 30th.
Okay, so that is Aquarius. Yeah, I've got you here. That's why I asked. And there are a lot of swords here, and a lot of swords means a lot of intellectual activity, a lot of it going on. Are you writing a book or something? Are you thinking of writing a book?
Oh, thinking of it, yeah.
Yeah, because that seems to be high in the suggestion coming out of this. You really need to do that. Let's say not to validate you in any way, but to just to mentally diffuse some of that activity that's going on. That's what it looks like to me.
I have also been writing a course, like spending a lot of time writing a class right now. So.
Well, you need to be writing more. That's what I'm getting here. And I do see changes. Okay. But there is this High Priestess card, and the High Priestess is like the moon card. She hides things. And so there's typically here, there's something that is not meant to come out, but it mirrors the card of the Nine of Coins, which is an abundance card. I really don't see, just like in John's case, if I had to say there was one issue in your life, difficult, there's not one ugly card here, not even a little ugly. I mean, they're beautiful. They're changing. You are changing. This is a moment of change. You have the stars, the star at the tarot, the major arcana star here as well. And the star talks about you knowing where you want to go, you having, even if you don't know, you will be guided, but you will get there as well. I have this Knight of Cups, because this Knight of Cups is an earth sign. It could be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. And knights are fast moving. This is a slow moving card. It's as if there may be someone approaching you. But I have to say, whereas I do see you, the Queen of Swords, I also see the King of Swords here, almost as if that is a couple. That is a couple. There's, is it your couple? I couldn't say that, but you can. And if it is, the way I have the spread, it's 3, 3, and 3. And on the third right side, it's the Queen, the Knight of Swords, and I have the King. Diagonally, the development of the message here is this slow-moving Knight of Coins, Knight of Cups, the Knight of Cups, going into the changes, the Two of Coins, comes out as the King of Swords. So it must be someone who's coming out to be a king. He may be promoted. I don't know. Or she, could be male, female, either of them. Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Okay. Now, did the questions come to you?
Well, I was kind of pondering my relationship, which, that progression would be interesting because I've asked for some specific changes and given an opportunity to do, to do his own work, and said, do your work, and this could really, really work, and don't, and it might not. So, so that's interesting. And then of course I always have questions about my work, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel I'm on purpose and doing what I'm supposed to do, but when I ask, I don't always feel like I'm getting the answers. And so I asked this to another one the other day, and so I'll just ask you again, like, when will I see?
You can't ask when. This is a difficult thing. I can trick the cards. I mean, I could say, okay, will it be in 3 months? Will it be in 6 months? Will it be in 9 months? Or you just use my psychic abilities. But go ahead, you ask your when question. Let's see what we can do.
Because I was trying to see if I could change it, but
no, you want to know when. I get it.
Yeah, I want to know when.
Yeah.
I do want to know when. When will it feel? Or when will it match up? When what I feel like what I'm doing. And the evidence that I can make a living.
Okay.
Right?
So the financial
Yeah.
and the competence will put on the scale when the scale will even, when it will be
Yeah. When will it
balanced
even,
out. Okay.
you know, right when now as you're
Yeah.
starting a business and you're an entrepreneur, it's kind of hit and miss. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
like
yeah. Okay.
I have some money this month and not next.
Okay. Okay. Ain't that the truth? Let's
Yeah.
see. Fast. I've got some fast moving cards here.
These Spirit Cafe
You've
listeners, you're getting the goods on John and me
strong.
today.
You've got a strong, strong female presence. You've got a very strong female side. And wait, let me finish taking the other cards because they're so very clear that I didn't want to open them. But, all right. You know, many of you who have learned about the tarot or who know what kind of tarot cards there are, we know that there are major arcana, the big guys, you know, the powerful cards, and it starts from the Fool to the World, and one of them is the Tower card, or the Death card, or you know, the scale, anything. The Tower is usually, when that comes out, everybody says, oh Jesus, what's going on? What is going on? Why is the tarot there? The Tower, and it's the last card, so it's the outgoing card. And I started by saying, Tamara, look, there's a very strong presence here. I've got the Empress. The Empress is the creativity, the goddess of creativity, the Empress. You're in the center of the cards again. So, you know, this Queen of Swords is they're talking to you. Next to you is this 10 of coins, which is, you know, the epitome of abundance. And very fast is the 8 of Wands. These are the arrows of love and how can I say, passion in the sense of your livelihood, your work. And that's going right into your creative vein. Now, what is this all about in the last 3 cards ending that is this, and I'll put it in the language that I'm reading it as. Okay. I started out by saying, look, Tamara, you have a very, very strong female side, in terms of creativity, in terms of the way you manage things like a queen bee. You know, you take care of those people all around you. Mm-hmm. But the male side needs a little bit buttressing. And what does the male side look like in a woman? And, you know, we could sit here for hours and days talking about that, but for you who has a very strong female side, it would look like a lot of hard work because it's something maybe that you don't like to do. You know, the part that doesn't have anything to do with creativity, the list making, then, you know, what do you people sign up to get a newsletter, you know, the newsletter. Everybody's telling me start a newsletter. I have nightmares about newsletters. You know, something that will create and harness and bring, you know, but that idea of earning money is typically a little foreign to you, really. You know what you want, you put a price tag on it and you put it out there and you usually get it. But there is a side to that work that you're doing that needs more a glove of iron rather than silk, if you've understood. But you have the star right next to that, right next to the Tower, and you will definitely make it. The 3 is this celebration again. Both John and you came out with the 3 of Cups, which is a celebratory card. But this Tower does say, look out, you know, look out, do some homework, get it done, go to economic school, go to bank school, financial school, you know, anything that will help you balance the ins and the outs better, or pay someone to do it,
right?
Because something has to be done. You know, you need to put the pants on in the family of your business. Yeah. That's what it looks like to me.
Okay, that makes sense.
Wow.
Sounds good. It's fun because all of the readings since starting Spirit Cafe, we've had a few. I've had a few, which I haven't had in years and years and years and years. They're all really good.
Great. Thank
really
goodness.
Positive. Everyone tells me I'm going to make it. That's really good. So,
well, Tamara, how could you not really? Come on. There's very few people I've met in my life that are as capable as you. So
thank you, John. But Claudia's right. I like the creative part. I don't necessarily love the business side, right? So I love to just, I do want to get to the point where someone else can take care of all the business for me, and
Yes.
I can be
Yeah.
the start.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, of course. You
Right.
are a
And
star.
you deserve that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Claudia, tell us about past life regressions. This has been
Yeah.
mentioned by a couple of people too,
Uh-huh.
but tell us, why you do those, or why you've done
Well,
those, and
well,
how
let's
does it
say
serve people?
John has undergone that, so he knows a lot
Mhm.
about that. I don't know how many times you've done it, but let's say how it works with me and the people that come to me. They come usually when they feel like, they literally say they're in a rut. They're stuck. The same things happen. It could be because of a relationship. They have the typical pattern of a 6-month relationship, then it ends. It's something like that. Or with work, I last 6 months on the job, then I become bored, or they let me go. Something that is just not working out, dissatisfaction generally. And what the difference is with relation to normal, to what is commonly understood as psychotherapy, is that when we hypnotize a person, when a person under hypnosis regresses or travels to, it could be considered a point in time, it could be considered a point in time and space. It depends on the person under hypnosis, how they conceive of it. And it could be it could be even conceived as a period of history, because they see specific things and specific artifacts, right? Now, what I love about it is the regressionist has to guide. It's very delicate, all right? It's very delicate, because what could happen? The person could become very frightened because they come to a precipice. They see their own death, or they become choked. A woman came to me because she's so frightened of water, and she really wants to learn how to swim. She can't. And so, we regressed with her. And when we got to that point of where she was drowning, it was so difficult. And, it wasn't worth going on. We just, pulled her back. And it took 3 sessions to come out of that. But the thing is that in 3 sessions, she was able to see, oh my God, now I've understood. Let's do it again, because I have to go there. I have to look at it in the face, so I'll know what happened, and that that if I died, well, I'm still here today. So, and it's interesting because they come out, they do the work. Okay, this is an Apple world where everything's linked, and the phones start ringing. And so what it is that they come and they, in inverted commas, resolve their issues. They see what happens, and it's much more easily accepted rather than another way of doing psychotherapy, which may take a very long time before they approach a certain wall of defense, and go beyond that. Yeah. And so
and I'll say that what you just said is absolutely true. Having experienced a trauma in that past life made the whole experience much more real. It gives you, it lets you know, because why would you be having that huge emotional reaction?
Oh yeah, sure.
Otherwise, right?
Or why would you have this hate for your father? Right. Well, then in a past life, you found out that he molested you or something like that,
Right.
And so it is interesting that way, but it is delicate. There's a lot of delicacy there, because the person has to trust you. You have to be trusted. And you have to be, as a regressionist, you have to feel that you can carry them, their emotional weight with you. It's fascinating. And you recorded it, and you audio and video record it. And the person always says, oh, I couldn't believe it. I didn't know. Was that me talking? I mean, I myself did the same thing when I regressed with someone. And I thought, I knew, and I was awake, and I knew that something was coming out, and I knew that I was saying something, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm not making it up. I'm saying it because it's coming out faster than I can think,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Oh, I
You
wish
should
we could
try
talk to you all day long, Claudia, but we're going to have to wind this one up.
All right.
And we're going to have you back, but tell our listeners where they can find you and where you like to interact with them the most.
Okay, they could find me at christellemartinet.com. They'll find me on Instagram, The Magic of Pleasure Seeking, which is the title of my book. Twitter, the same, Magic of Pleasure. YouTube, my videos. You'll find me everywhere as Claudia Monacelli, aka Christelle Martinet.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And I'm sure John will put that in the show notes. So it'll be a quick, easy link wherever they're listening from.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It was a
thanks for coming
pleasure.
on. You're fascinating and fun. And
Yeah,
John, you want to lead us out this time?
I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on the stripping thing from way back.
I want to, I want the feedback because I want to know the lead story here with John and you. I want to know what happens then because I have to know.
We'll definitely have to have you back.
Well, we both have YouTube channels. You can check out.
Okay, I'll check.
Tamara Zoner, and
Right.
and mine is John of New.
John of New. Okay,
John of
I will
New,
check. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And
And,
you can
I've
find out
already
a lot about
subscribed to
both.
yours, Claudia. So
Oh, that's sweet of you.
yeah, and watched a few too. So wonderful. So thank you so much. John, do you have any final
I
words?
am overjoyed to have met you, Claudia. It's been a wonderful experience.
pleasure,
Thank
John.
you so much for coming.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, listeners. We will talk to you again next week.
Thank you for joining us at Spirit Cafe, a place where you can safely explore your spirituality without the guilt or dogma of religion. Leave all comments and suggestions on the Spirit Cafe podcast Facebook page.